Okay, hey, we seem to be live. I hope we're live. Hello, everybody. I don't know who's in or not in, but this is 1000 Marriage Questions. I've got the bucket right here. I've mixed it up a lot, so hopefully it won't be too vile right off the bat. So, the first question, let's see what I pull. How do you explain why you hate her father? So, Donna, when I come to you, remember our first question: how do you explain why you hate her father? And that's what's going to happen as soon as we start. So, let's go. 1000 Questions is an entertaining discussion of marriage. We aren't telling you to do or feel or change anything about your life. Really, just listen and enjoy. And if you need real help, find a professional for your specific problem. We don't know you. How could we speak to your deal? Okay, have fun. Yeah. Hello, everybody, and hello, Donna Wilburn. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, well, I am good things and all. So we are live right now. I've got the comments open for people to comment. I've already said, hey, somebody saw me on the Carnival Pride. That is so great. Hello, Jim Schaefer. I'm glad you're watching. So Donna, how have things been this week in Las Vegas before we start?
Hot. It's hot. It's like 100 degrees right now.
Well, that's kind of par for the course in Vegas, isn't it?
Not for like just end of April. Like I could have had a little bit of a spring, but I think I blinked and missed it.
That could be. When I lived out there, I love the hot weather. I just don't like when you walk in and the air conditioning is 32 degrees. So I have to have a jacket everywhere with me.
Yeah, that would cost $1 million. So we can't have our air conditioner be 32 degrees.
That's right. Well, and you can't walk into a casino now. You can't. One of my problems right now is that wherever I drive, there's no place, and this is going to lead into what we're going to talk about before we get going. Is everywhere you go, it's hard to find a place to go to the bathroom anymore. It's almost like New York City. So many places are closed or their bathrooms are not open. And so I'm driving. I thought I had to drive to this procedure that I had done on Monday, and I thought I need to stop and go to the bathroom. Where's going to let me in?
Right? You can't just run into a restaurant because
Nope. Nope.
or
So
buy something. Sorry.
and even buying something, they won't even let you use the restaurant. I mean, the restaurant, the
Right.
restroom.
Right.
So okay. So people have been asking. So I'm gonna start right off the bat with I had a procedure here on Monday. I had two things. I had a cystoscopy, I think they call it, and a sonogram of my prostate. I've been having some what I thought was BPH, and
What's BPH?
that's benign prostate hyperplasia.
Okay.
That just means your prostate's getting bigger and it's closing off your urethra and you're peeing a lot more.
Okay.
But it's benign, meaning that it doesn't hurt you, except it's annoying, and over time can cause a problem.
Okay.
So before I tell this story, I want you to talk on something though, because uh, my wife, I got a call on Friday, and they said, "Look, you're in network, you're fine, but this procedure is $3,000, and this is just the test. This isn't to fix anything. To fix it is about $10,000." And I said, "You know what? It's a time in history. I don't know if we can do it now. 3,000 is a lot to find out." And my wife stepped in and said, "No, get this done. You need this done. You need to know. You need to know that you're healthy." And can you talk for about a minute here on spouses watching out for each other's health and that it's not nagging?
Like how to watch out for each other's health without nagging.
Yes.
Like it's especially like I don't know why, but it seems that the females are more into the staying healthy, go to the doctor, get your checkup. And I it's in my house too. I have two adult sons and a husband, and I think I'm the only one that seems to care about health and welfare. And so we care about you and you don't seem to care. So it's gonna come across like nagging.
Well, and it should, but I wonder if there's a way. Like my wife was very good at it, because there's a difference between you need to get this done, and women sometimes have a tendency to make us sound like we've done something wrong, when they're doing that. But she made this so clear. She goes, I care so much about you being healthy, and that this is so important, that this money doesn't matter. We can do this, and
Mhm.
it's so important to find out. And you want to know, you that I really did want to know, even though it's a pretty scary kind of process. And I hope later on, as people watch this, the men can really take heed and get this done, knowing what I've gone through.
So that goes into basic communication 101 is I statements. So she kept her finger pointed at herself, like, I really care. This matters a lot to me, rather than poking at you and going, you need to blah, 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 blah. When you use
Mhm.
I statements and keep your finger pointed to yourself, it's less attacking. And so then the person can hear what you're saying and be more cooperative about it. So your wife did a good job using that I statement.
Yeah, she does a good job sometimes. Just kidding. So anyway, so here's what happened. So for all the men out there, I was nervous a week ahead. I was just nervous because, as you know, this cystoscopy is, and I said it in the other show. I said it. They take a GoPro on a stick and shove it up your urethra and look at your prostate and your bladder and stuff like that. And every man in the world knows you don't want anything shoved up your urethra. I think most men, and I've never heard a man that said, "Oh boy, let me have a catheter someday." So, not that women enjoy them, but women are much better at pain than men. So, I was worried just a week ahead. So I'm driving over there, still a little worried. And what's first is funny is that, by the way, thank the Lord for all the people at Deaconess in Evansville, Dr. Becker, your entire staff, and that you are such amazing people, and you made this such a strong experience. And I thank you very much. So the first thing that happens is you get in your take all your clothes off. We're basically in surgery center. And by the way, they need new robes, though. My robe was worn, worn, worn. It had tears in it. I know it was clean, but I'm
That's
like,
spa service there.
yeah. I said, you gotta, yeah, that's not a good spa. And they did not clean my nails. So the first thing that happens is, as I get in the robe, the girl, the young lady, the one of the nurses, she goes, I'm going to take your, and they're all young. They were all, except for one lady, they were all young, in their 20s and 30s. And she goes, I'm going to take your blood pressure. And it was about 159/95, which mine has always been perfect. 120/80, never been higher. And she goes, your blood pressure's a little high. And I say, do you think it's because you're going to shove a stick up my penis? Why do you think my blood pressure would be high right now as I am palpitating, waiting for this? And she goes, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I said, don't you notice? Because they had done 12 of these before me on this day. So that's how many men want this done. So and she said they all freak out. So we get that done, and I'm trying to joke. And then it's real quick. They do a great job. I mean, this is like surgery though. You're in that bed where they're pushing your bed down the hall.
Maybe like a tranquilizer or something.
No tranquilizer, because I have to drive back and forth. And
Oh,
no, we'll get to that in a second. They did give you an antibiotic just in case
pain
that
relief.
no pain reliever. They
Oh,
had to give I know. So they give you an antibiotic just in case something gets scratched or torn and there might be infection. So yeah, they push your bed down to literally in surgery, and you're in surgery. This is like TV kind of surgery. And I go in, and there's 4 women in there and not even the doctor. And then they start to prepare you. And what always cracks me up is, because I think about this when I talk to men about do everything for your health, because women go through 1,000 times what you go through all their lives. This is one thing that I went through. My wife, I remember, and obviously you've been to the gynecologist, Donna. I remember going to the gynecologist with my wife one time, long time ago. He said, you should be in the room. And I was like, no, I shouldn't. I should not be in the room. And he goes, no. He goes, it's not a big deal. It's a big deal. So I'm in the room, and here's my wife. And what I love about this is I'm laying there, and they cover everything except your penis. That's it. Everything. So I'm in a room with 4 women with only and I've got a mask on too. We've all got masks on. So, and you wonder, how you're sizing up with all the other guys that have been here today. And
real insecurity creeps in there.
no, just the opposite. But
Oh,
anyway, no, I'm just kidding. So anyway, but I do want to tell the men, I think here's something for your wives. Kind of maintain yourself down there. Don't just, you don't have to be, but
landscaping.
A
Man.
little manscaping. Yeah, I know. A little manscaping because it's so gross when the hair gets bigger than the thing. So it's just gross. So
Oh, you got a visual. I didn't want that visual.
you're going to get more. So
No.
anyway, so I thought about this when my wife was at the gynecologist and I was in the room, and here's my wife basically covered everywhere except right there, and I'm already uncomfortable. And then a guy I don't even know walks in, although although I would say, not that a guy I do know would have been better, but like, hey, Steve, goodness, I'm glad it's you, buddy. Come on in. So, so I'm laying there, and then it gets really like I suddenly feel like I'm in a Saw movie because I'm laying there, everything but strapped down, and I have three women standing around me, and then they bring this like dark iodine type liquid in a huge thing, and one lady holds her hands over the top of my, part of my body, and the other one squeezes this liquid, this dark brown liquid, and it just goes all over it and all over me and all over. And then she starts rubbing it in everywhere, and she's squeezing this. I'm like, this is going to be a horror show. What's going on here? So they rub all that in, and I'm joking the entire time, and they're laughing. Although there was one woman in the background that was so stoic and just mean and grumpy the whole time. And I couldn't figure out, why is there something? I hope her life is okay. And then I realized she was the one that was doing the thing that was in the rectum, and maybe she wasn't thrilled about that. So anyway, but I'm just kidding.
That job.
Yeah, she has that job. Although she probably does it 12 times a day. So then we're talking, and my anxiety is high, but not as high as it was a minute ago, until they pull out the doctor comes in, and they pull out the cord hooked to the camera, hooked to another cord, hooked to a thing that squirts liquid in. And this thing looks thick. I mean, it looks, if you think about what kind of cord that
like
a TV,
pencil?
like could have been a little thicker, but yeah, okay, a pencil, but more, if you plug your TV into the wall, look at the cord that your TV is plugged into without the plug. But interestingly enough, still half the size of a catheter. Still not. So think how big catheters are. You know what I mean? Think how big those are. So anyway, and it's got a little camera, and I can see the camera feed. And I said, oh, I get to watch this. That made me exciting. Then when we talk about numbing, they take a lidocaine syringe, and it's full of gel, and they put it right in the end, and then they squeeze it all into your penis. And I thought, well, what's going to happen is this stuff's going to start gurgling out the top as they're plunging this thing in there. But wow, no, it just all went in and just, and I was like, what?
It was in there.
It's all in there, and it just goes down in, and you really couldn't feel it, but I felt like it was just going to push out my whole thing. So, but it didn't do that. So then the doctor comes in, and he goes, okay, here's the thing. We're going to put it in. I'm going to show you everything. We're going to show the bladder. And he starts to insert it, and I don't feel anything. I'm like, wow, really? This is going to be amazing. And then after I'm watching it go in too, this is like, if you remember the movie where the people get real shrunk, and I think OJ is in it, which is sad, that they get shrunk and they go in the body to fix the thing. We're watching the camera. It's like that. I'm watching it go up the urethra. And then I see it change a little. He goes, by the way, now it's going to hurt. I went, what? And he moved it into the prostate. And it was like somebody shoved a knife right into the center of my area down there. I was like, holy crap. But it wasn't unbearable. So guys, you can handle it.
Just breathe through it.
Just breathe. And it was so fascinating to watch on the feed, to see my prostate, because it was so clear. I'd seen many pictures of these things. I've been studying this for a while now, just to see that so clear. And then it went up pretty quick through there. And then to see it go into the bladder, and to see the inside of my bladder as he's adding fluid. And by the way, still hurting. I'm like, this is wild. He goes, I know. And so we're looking around, and then he drives this thing like he's got a 74 mg midget. He just, I'm watching him too. Just this is what he's doing. And I'm like, what are we doing here? And then he takes a big twist like that and he spins the whole thing around so you can see the hole where it's coming through. And I could see this very clearly. Because my prostate is enlarged a little bit, and it presses into the bladder, and I could see that little hump pressing into the bladder. But what I said and what he said too, when we looked at it, we said, "Look, your prostate isn't very big at all. The urethra is not even being pressed." So he goes, and I have the cleanest bladder. I have the bladder of a 20-year-old for some reason. That's just, there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing. He goes, everything looks amazing. And I said, well, this is a good time to take this sucker out then. Yeah, sounds like a good time. So we looked at, and then he does. It took literally less than 2 minutes, everybody. Literally less than 2 minutes. So he takes it out and immediately no more pain, and I'm fine. And it was, and the pain, I forgot about it quick, and it was just fascinating to see. And then we consult after we kind of cleaned up and then moved me back to the thing. We discussed what was the next thing. Now, what I was trying to look to do, and this is for all guys out there, it's called UroLift. It's a very almost non-invasive. Matter of fact, the procedure to get the UroLift isn't as bad as the thing I just had, because they knock you out and it takes 3 minutes. Okay. And they don't go all the way into the bladder. They go just into the prostate. A robot ties off your prostate on both sides and opens those hemispheres. Problem was, from the lady, and not to really, I forgot about the whole thing in the backside, which was not, it's just like getting your prostate checked. It's like, it's not heavy pain. It just is like, there's something in my butt right now. So it's not that bad. So then they scan your prostate and get the exact size. And mine was only 20 grams, which is nothing,
Good for
the what?
Good for you.
Good for me. So yeah, I guess the problem is I'm incredibly healthy, but the what?
Dang it. You went home a healthy guy.
Well, I went home healthy, and there's nothing else to do. Getting this next procedure would be a mistake, and really my problem is my lifestyle. Because I drink liquids all the way till midnight. If I drank only water and stopped at 7 p.m., I wouldn't get up 4 or 5 times a night. But I'm drinking chai tea and milk, and I really love diet soda, and physically it hasn't hurt me. So, and that carbonation really makes you pee a lot. So if I wanted to change my lifestyle, it would stop, but I don't. So I'm not going to.
Nanny.
I know. So I got out of there. And then for the men out there, it hurt to pee for about 4 hours, 5 hours. But what's funny, everything that hurt was way inside, but it hurt right at the end of my penis to pee. That's where it stung. No place else. It was really weird. Isn't that weird?
Well, I'm glad you survived it.
Okay.
I'm glad it was calming and it went well.
It will. So that was a long story. I apologize. We need to get to a question, and because you need to answer a question. Now, did you hear the question?
I did.
How do you explain why you hate her father? And to me, I say that you don't have to explain why you hate your father. You just have to explain what you're going to do about it, and like how you're going to act.
In there's so many layers in there. First of all, why does somebody hate somebody? Like, haters hate. So right off the bat, I'm like, that's kind of a strong feeling. I don't know what the father did, if he's like a major criminal child molester or something. Like, I don't know. But why are you hating on somebody? You need to look at that. And then if there needs to be boundaries, like, I don't think you have to explain to your wife why you hate somebody. I think you have to discuss with your wife what healthy boundaries are, like what you're okay with, not okay with. Do you not have manners? Can you not tolerate being in the same room? Like, what's going on with that? So I don't know if this is a manners issue. Like, even if you do hate somebody or don't like them, you're not married to her father. If you only want to tolerate little bits of time, then talk to your wife about what you can be good with, not good with, things like that. But that, I'm concerned for the person who wrote the question, because I'm thinking they might have some emotional intensity there.
Well, I think you're going to find most of these questions that you are suspect of the person writing them and that they're the problem.
Yeah.
But let's look at it this way, though. Let's take a for instance. Let's go back to the 70s and let's go back to All in the Family. If you remember All in the Family, you remember Meathead and you remember Archie Bunker.
Correct.
So in that situation where you've got the daughter and the son-in-law with the way they treated each other and how they felt about things, how would you sit down with that couple away from the father and tell them what they should be doing and how maybe she's feeling about what he's doing too?
So, like in that show, and I admit the Archie Bunker to me would be annoying. Okay.
Yes.
Like, I was like talking like that and always seems angry. And yeah, that would be annoying. And he's even calling names. He calls Meathead. That's like rude. Mm-hmm. So I can see not really wanting to hang much with that guy. So what happens is, let's say this is the All in the Family. The daughter has this loyalty to her father. Okay. It's children have loyalty to their parents to forever and ever, even if the parent is annoying and rude and whatever. It's an intrinsic loyalty. So as soon as you talk negatively about her father, she's going to get automatically defensive. And she's not really going to hear what you're saying objectively. Okay. So there's no need to be like, your dad's so annoying. I hate him so much. He's so terrible. If it was someone in front of me, I would say, I don't need to hear why you hate somebody. Let's just talk about what kind of structure we need. Like, what kind of rules need to be in place? How about, as soon as he calls me a name, I'm going to leave. Or as soon as he starts talking about how terrible every other culture is, I'm going to have to walk out the door. Not be rude, not tell him how terrible he is. I just have to go because I cannot tolerate that kind of behavior. That he would tell his wife that, like, I love you, hang out with your dad, whatever. But as soon as he goes there, I'm going to have to go. Okay. Thanks. Bye. Nobody's mad. Nobody's mean. Nobody's rude. Just boundaries and structure. She can't hear objectively somebody talk bad about her parent. It's just not going to work well. So I say, don't talk crap about people that your spouse cares about. But if you need boundaries, set some boundaries. That's fine. You don't have to talk mean about somebody to set boundaries.
Well, and endless fighting is only for Facebook and Twitter.
Oh gosh, drama. Yeah,
drama. And it's no one's changing anyone's mind. No one's doing this. And obviously it was a TV show, so we're using it as an example, but people live their real lives like this. And we have had, even in my marriage with my wife and I, again, you have to remember that you're the team. The two of you are the team. And if, you're making everybody really uncomfortable at the dinner table at Thanksgiving, when Uncle Bob pipes up and you're all over it, it's better to leave it alone if you want to protect those relationships, or don't go.
This is a thing to remember. My house, my rules. Okay. So in my house, if the rule is no talking like that, it's no talking like that. If you talk like that, I'm going to have to say, I need you to go. But when I'm in someone else's house, it's their house, their rules. Okay. If someone is talking a certain way and I don't like it, then I go.
Well, but also there's this, and we've had this conversation years ago when my in-laws were alive and stuff like that you have to decide whether you want us here. And one of the ways to have us here is that we're not going to be listening to you blather about this, that, or the other thing. We're going to keep it.
Your choice, right? If you want us to hang, we don't talk about that. If you want to talk about that, then we go.
I love it. Okay. I'm going to the bucket and I'm going to grab another question. Here we go. Are you ready? Maybe it'll be about what? Here's hey, no sex things today. Although we just kind of had a pretty gross talk before this. It said, who, and hold on, because we have to do some ads before we do this. 1 minute of ads. Who's the better disciplinarian, mom or dad? Okay, watch this, everybody.
Voted Michiana's #1 restaurant, Doc Pierce's
It didn't come on.
Open soon. From now until then,
Hey, why didn't it come on?
It did.
Voted Michiana's #1 restaurant, Doc Pierce's will reopen soon. From now until then, we are offering a $10 bonus card that never expires for all gift card purchases of $50. Go to docpierces.com to get your card today. There's no limited. You can get one bonus card for every $50, two for $100, etc. Or call 574-255-7737. Leave a message. Now check out the fine print. I hope you're enjoying 1,000 Marriage Questions, and if so, you can become a friend of the show by donating $10, $5, $1 to keep us up and running. Or you can get some silly and fun merch from the show, t-shirts from the bucket that are a sure conversation starter, and Brad Tassell's best-selling book, You Did It Where, The Strangest Places People Have Sex. Just go to the website, virtualcomedyshow.com, and click shop.
Well, that was fun, wasn't it?
Sure. I like
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it was not too bad. So, okay. So this is, I get this, I bet this question is in this bucket 30 times. And I always say, who's the better disciplinarian, mom or dad? I always say, it's whoever's the maddest.
No, Brad.
Whoever's angry. I'm going to do it.
Probably the opposite.
Really?
Whoever's not angry is going to do a better job at discipline. Whoever's angry is just going to be drama.
Yes, it's just going to be drama and punishment is what it's going to be.
So let me give you, and there's even research to back this, okay? So the mom tends to be the more codependent parent, which is like more forgiving or having a hard time maintaining the consequences. Like if she says, go to your room for 10 minutes, as soon as the child goes and starts crying, she'll be like, okay, never mind. Like you go 5 minutes. So that's a tendency, right? So that they tend to not be as great with follow through. And then the dad seems to be good with the follow through, but too harsh on delivery, right? Mm-hmm. So the mom is like, okay, that's it. You broke the rule. Now you have to go time out for like 10 minutes. And the child's like, no, please. And then she's like, okay, come here, baby. Oh, mama. Okay. And then like, there goes the learning lesson that happened. And then the dad tends to be like, that's it. You broke a rule. Go to your timeout for 10 minutes. But he's like angry and harsh and mad about it. So now instead of just learning, now you have the child with anxiety and a stress effect. So somewhere in the middle between nice, calm delivery with follow through on the consequences. If we can get that combined, that's the discipline that you want.
Well, my problem is that I sound sterner than I'm feeling. And it's something I have to watch all the time because I scare people. And when I get, and I'm not even feeling that stern or stuff, but it just sounds, especially with a child, you sound so much scarier than you even may feel. And somebody wrote in the things that sometimes the punishment is necessary. And true, there's sometimes, and I don't like to use the word punishment, I like to use the word correction. You are correcting somebody, you're trying to get them to make better choices. You may take something away, but you're not, are you truly punishing? You're trying to hurt them for what they've done.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in that. And I also do believe in follow through is important, but I also believe that that it needs to be directed to what they've done. And this leads me into a very controversial concept, and that is corporal punishment of any kind. And I would tell you that there is no change in my mind. If you have hit your child or you are hitting your child, you have already failed as a parent if you got there. And people always say, you know what? They might deserve it. They don't deserve it. Well, I got hit and it didn't hurt me. Well, you got hit, and despite that, maybe you're okay. But that didn't help. That worked the opposite of what you wanted. And that's just my opinion.
Well, we don't even train animals that way anymore. So we have research now to show there's effective ways of training humans and animals that don't have side effects like anxiety disorders, aggression, angry outbursts, things like that. Now we can train humans and animals using positive reinforcement, consequences for choices, rewards versus punishment. There's all kinds of research out there. And if you're still a Neanderthal thinking you need to hit, then you may need a little education.
And you may need a little therapy. You may need a little counseling. By the way, I keep kid treats in my pocket at all time, and I put them right in their mouth, just like you do a dog. Good job, honey. And I just shove that right in their mouth.
Mhm.
Great. Well, that is wonderful. Let's do one more, and we've got like 4 minutes we're going to do left. I'm going to pull one more. Let's see what this one says. It says, why does your parents get smarter as you mature? Wow. And this one's from a parent.
A little grammar help.
Yeah, little grand. Obviously, that parent didn't get any smarter as they matured.
I don't know
Well,
who got smarter.
well, I don't know if you can see that, but it says even the smarter, smata, SMANTAH or something. Yeah, that doesn't even say that. But obviously,
This Boston,
the what?
in Boston.
Yes, and by smarter. How do parents get smarter as you get older? Well, obviously, you're supposedly going to see their wisdom if they were normal, good parents. If they were abusive and horrible, you probably won't. But you'll see later when you take out your wants, when you take out the fact that you just wanted it so bad at the time, and that you will learn later. It's like mom always says, wait till you have kids.
Right. So can you clarify that question in English for me?
Nope. Okay. So
Translate.
this is my thought, is that this is somebody who is now having kids and realizing that their parents weren't that bad.
Oh, okay. So why does it seem, so ask the question.
Why do your parents get smarter as you mature? As you grow up and become an adult, why is it suddenly your parents getting
Realize your
smarter?
parents were actually smart.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thinking hopefully because you're looking at things from a different perspective, from the adult perspective versus the kid perspective, who, the child is there going, this sucks, and how terrible they are. And they don't know anything, especially to a teenager. Really, parents know nothing. And as you get older and from an adult perspective, looking towards a child, you're like, oh, that kid point of view might not have been the most rational, mature one.
Well, and seeing danger in things, kids have a tendency not to see the consequences and danger in some things and situations that they put themselves in. I think especially of girls in college and in high school who will go to a frat party and just drink and like, what do you think? How do you think? And boy, you sure can't blame them, because no man should ever even think. It shouldn't even be a thought. I don't know why we don't train men not to sexually assault girls, but girls also to not even think that this could be a problem, and stuff like that. So that's where I think it comes from too.
On that little side note, we have normalized sexual harassment
Yep.
so bad that we have to
Yeah.
like reprogram people from the get-go. And this is why even now you see a lot towards the respect boundaries. If you have a child who does not want to kiss someone or hug someone, that you have to respect that and not force them. If you're nice,
Yes.
good, and give them a hug or a kiss goodbye, that you respect that child's not comfortable doing that, and you allow them to have that boundary. So that movement is happening. It is not caught on everywhere.
No.
There's groups out there trying to help educate parents to let children have boundaries so that they are less likely to think this harassment is okay, this treatment is okay when they're older.
Let them have their own bodies. They're in control. I remember when my daughter was little at one point, and I don't care if they're 2 or 4 or 15 or 105, she was maybe 4 or 5 or something like that. And some uncle or somebody was trying to hug her, and she's like, no, I don't want to hug. And grandma's like, hug your aunt. I said, no. I said, are you kidding me? She said no.
She said
She
no.
will-
No
she-
means no.
No means no. There's no kissing. I'm going to kiss you. No, let me kiss you. No.
Yeah.
The answer is friggin' no. I don't care if you're grandma, aunt. I don't care if you gave me $1 million. You don't touch anybody. I don't care what age they are, that says no. And we're at a good point now because she won't touch anybody. So that's nice. Okay, we're running long. Anything you want to wrap up with before we go?
I appreciate the questions. I think if people can send in questions that they want us to talk about, as well as the bucket questions, in case we don't get to something someone's actually interested in.
Oh no, please do. There's a banner I keep forgetting to run. And that is that it says, if you have a question to put in the bucket, please send it to us. You can go to here. I'll try this. Let me go to this real quick. Here's at least the banner for the website, virtualcomedyshow.com. Go to 1,000 marriage questions, and you can put in there, and you can contact us and send us questions, or you can contact me or Donna. What's your website again? I mean, what's your email?
Facebook. You can message me on Facebook.
Message us on Facebook. You can get a hold of us on Facebook. Yes, please do those things. And because we want to do that. I am monitoring the chat too, by the way, for questions. There's comments. There's been a lot of comments, but not real questions. So I haven't mentioned much of that.
Realized I can now see the comments.
Well done. Well done.
I learn something new every day.
You're a technology genius. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. That was Donna Wilburn. I am Brad Tassell. We'll be back next week. Please keep in touch. Please get a hold of us, and we're going to learn something right from the bucket. Thank you very much.